So you knew he was going to be the subject of this film. How involved in the process of making the film itself? The editing, the storytelling, the kind of the themes that you want to explore. Is that something that he got exceptionally involved in? And did he expect to get that involved at the beginning? Or is it something that once he got into it, it changed and he got very much interested?
Yeah, I think it evolved. You know, there was a phase of this movie at the beginning that was pretty traditional, like he was subject and you know, I had a team, a creative team that really, you know, was behind the camera, so to speak. I think over time, like as he started to get used to it and started to understand the process, he really got engaged. I mean, I now describe to people, this is not a film about Kobe or on Kobe, it's a film with Kobe. And I mean that in like, you know, a complimentary way, because also as a filmmaker, I mean, all you want is an engaged subject. Like the more honest and present they are, the better the film. And in this case, it really became first person. And not just like, you know, interviews, but, you know, he really wanted to understand, okay, like, well, what does a DP do? What does an editor do? What does a graphic designer do? How does the composer, you know, what's their process like? There's no version of Kobe Bryant that's sort of passive. He's a very active and engaged guy. And you know, most people have seen this like on the basketball court, but, you know, I would say like, no, that's in every aspect of his life. He gets really, you know, engaged.
I mean, it's fascinating because you think about, he has absolutely nailed the process of becoming a phenomenal basketball player. And you get the sense he's dissected every element of that into its granular level and succeeded. And here you have him in this creative process. Do you see, as he moves on, an interest in him being a filmmaker and continuing this process and telling other people's stories? Because it's a different thing to tell other people's stories than tell your own story.
No, we've talked about it at length, and I think that's one of, you know, many things he wants to do. And, you know, guy's 36 years old. I mean, he's got a long life ahead of him. He's obviously achieved so much on the basketball court, but I think he also understands, like, I got this whole, you know, long life ahead of me. So I do think storytelling, filmmaking, and understanding other people. I mean, that's how in some ways this started. It was less about him and it was more about his fascination with other people. And how did Steve Jobs, you know, accomplish what he did? How, looking back at history, you know, how did a Michelangelo, and Kobe's a really cultured guy. I mean, he grew up, you know, in Italy, so he's been exposed to a lot. Obviously, by being who he is for the last 20 years, being the celebrity in the city, he's been exposed to so many people. So I think for him, actually, the first interest in all of this was other people, but then, you know, I kind of also put him in this position like, well, okay, but let's tell your story. Let's like funnel all of that, filter it through you.